Hello everyone and welcome back to the Python programming. So students, today we will be covering these two topics, that is data types and variables. Okay, so let's start it. So data types, students, you might have filled forms many times. For example, you are creating a new Gmail account or you are going to take admission in a school. So you fill a form. So what do you fill? You fill your name, your father's name, your previous class that you have cleared, are you Indian, yes or no, and your phone number, your percentage. So you see, you enter different kind of data. Somewhere you are entering the text, somewhere you are entering the decimal number, somewhere like your percentage, and somewhere you are typing numbers. So there are different types of data. Okay, so the data types determines types of data that can be stored in a variable or a memory. Okay, so data stored in a memory can be of many types. Okay, so Python has standard data types that are used to define the operation possible on them. Like if we are having a string type of data like alphabets, like this word, so a string or character, so we cannot just multiply them, right? So the type of data, and it is used to define the operation possible on them. Okay, so that's how this data type work. So let's see what kind of data types we are having. So Python is having number of data types, so we are covering here three basic data types. The first is integer, that is called int, represent numbers without any fractional part. Okay, so the complete number like 3, 9, 100, etc., these are called integers. Okay, so integers are of three types. So the first is plain integer. So it is normal type of integer that occupy 32-bit or 4-byte. Okay, so 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, so 4 byte is equal to 32 bits. Okay, of space to store a value. Okay, and it can hold positive or negative number. Okay, and its range is from this negative number to this positive number. So from this negative number to 0, and from 0 to this positive number, so it has a big range. Okay, then next is long integer. So long integer has even bigger range, and that means depend upon the capacity of the system, right? And the third is boolean. So boolean means bool. It is written as bool, and it represent value like true or false, 0 and 1. Okay, so like you are giving your phone number, so you will be using your integer data type, right? It will be covered in this category. Then long, if you are having a huge data, for example census of a country, like that, right? And boolean means true or false. So like are you Indian, so you will say yes or no, you will say, means it will be represented with boolean, right? Okay, so next is float. The second is float. Float represent the fractional part. Okay, like this, wherever we have fractional part, like your percentage will be represented using float. Like you have a bill of books, so that has some decimal fractional part, so it will be represented using float. So it is represented basically in two forms. First is this, like the normal one, 789.2345 and so on. And second is exponential. The fractional part is represented using E07, right? So the E is used for exponential form. Okay, floating point number can represent integer value as well and have a bigger range of values. So range is bigger, right? And it can include, because floating points include the fractional part, means it is taking more space to save the value. So it can even, for example, you want to save integer value using float data type, so you can do so. So your integer value will be saved like fractional number. Like if you want to save 3, so it will be saved as 3.0, right? So the next is string. String represent the character enclosed with quotation marks. So you can use single quotes or you can use the double quotes. So Python offer two types of strings value. First is ASCII. ASCII, like the simple one. ASCII string holds the strings of 0 or more, like hello or Python, right? So we can use the word with double quotes or single quotes or double quotes, right? So Unicode are, these are the strings This is all strings. So these are the string that is prefixed with u. So u is without quotes. So you will be writing u, and the text will be, the string will be written with the double quotes or single quotes, right? Type function is used to return the data type of a value. For example, you want to check the value 20 has which data type. So what you will be doing, let's see how we can check it. So this is our Python shell. Now I want to check with function type. I'll be writing, for example, I write 20. Okay, so this type function will tell me what type of value is this, what type of data is this. So it is telling int class, so it belongs to integer class, right? For example, now I will type function bracket 3.14 bracket close, enter. So it is float because it is having fractional part. Now let's check other also. So let's see type. So whatever we write in double quotes is a string, right? Now you see I'm writing numbers in the form of string, so it is telling me the string. It is not, although these are integers, but it is not taken as integer. Why? Because the value that we are writing here is in double quotes. The moment we will remove the double quotes, it will tell us the data type. For example, let's 10 by 13. Now without double quotes, so it is floating. It will divide it, and the answer will be in float or in decimal or in fractional part, right? Let me show you some more examples. Type computer languages in double quotes, so it is of string type. Okay, now let's check. So we will check now Boolean. We have checked almost everything. So we have to write true with the capital letter. As you know, our Python language is case sensitive, so whenever you're writing true, you have to write it with capital letter. So bool, so it is a Boolean. If I'll write false, then it will be again telling me, sorry, type, I'll write capital F ALSE, right? It will turn orange. So it is again Boolean. It is telling to the class which this data type belong, right? I hope you are clear with the data types, right? So let's go back. Okay, so next is variable. So variable is a named memory location that stores data. So this is a variable. A is a variable. A is a variable which is used for naming this location, right? And this location is containing this value, means this box is having A as a name and 100 as a value. And how do we assign value to a variable? Means a variable will be having 100 value. We use this assignment operator to assign the value, right? And it is variable. Variable means vary. Vary means change. So while executing the program, the value of the variable may change. So rules for writing the variable's name. So when you are giving a name to a variable, we have to follow certain rules. So a name must start with alphabet. You can use underscore, right? For example, this is a valid variable name, underscore age 7, right? So alphabet can be used and underscore can be used to start the variable name, right? And second is a variable name can of alphabets, digits and underscore only. So variable name can contain only these three things. No other character is allowed. For example, age 7 underscore x is correct and age 7 @x is incorrect. Why? Because this @ is not allowed, because no other character is allowed. Only alphabets, digits and underscore are allowed, and that too we cannot start the name with a digit. We can start only name with the underscore and alphabet, right? The third is a Python keyword cannot be used as a variable name. So like print is a Python keyword, type is a Python keyword, so we cannot use it to name any variable, right? Let's move ahead. There are some features of variable name. So these are the features. Variable name can be of any length, right? Variable names are case sensitive, so you must take care. You see age and this age are different variable name. Third point is Python 3x, that is our latest version, is based on Unicode. Therefore, a variable names can contain Unicode characters other than alphabets, right? Digit and underscore. So digit, alphabets and underscore were already allowed. So now we can use some other symbols. Like this is a valid. So Unicode include other symbols also. So it is a valid variable name. So this is a valid variable name because there is no space, no number. This is valid because it has just underscore, no space in between. It is also valid. This is valid number, alphabets and underscore only used. So alphabet and number only used. So these are examples of some valid variable names. Now let's see some of the invalid. Now this is a variable name. So why it is called so why it is invalid? Because space is not allowed. So there should be no space in between the variable name. Second, a name can start only with alphabet and underscore. A number is used. So variable name cannot start with a number, right? Employee dot code. So dot is used here. It means dot is not allowed. It is a invalid. Hash, employee hash code. This character is not allowed. Elf. Elf is a else if. So it is a Python keyword. This cannot be used to write the variable name, right? So we must remember some points. A variable name is created when it's first assigned a value. So for example, you're just writing a is equal to 100. So the moment you give the value 100 to the variable a, the variable is created. Okay, a variable must assign a value before using it in expression. For example, you want to write a plus b, right? So this cannot work until you give, prior to using this you should give a value and b also some value, then only you can use these variables in an expression. Okay, this is done. A variable value may change during program execution. So let's see some of the variables. For example, I write a is equal to 100, enter. B is equal to 30, enter. Now I want to write a. Now you see, I'll write small a plus capital B. Now let's see what happens. So it is not able to recognize this a because these two a's are different, as it is a case sensitive. So I have to write capital A plus capital B. Now let's see. So the answer is here. Now now I assigned 100 to variable a, right? So means a is of which type, which kind of data a is having. Let's check it. So it is telling it belongs to int class, right? So students, I hope you are clear with the data types and variables, right? So you must practice it, and more you practice, more you will learn. So keep learning, keep practicing, and God bless you all.